So, you've received that dreaded notice from the IRS. Your tax return is under audit. But what does that mean? And what should you do next? First off, let's understand what an IRS audit entails. When the IRS audits your tax return, they're meticulously examining it to ensure you reported all your income accurately and claimed only the deductions and credits you're entitled to by law. IRS audits are not random. They target returns with the highest likelihood of errors based on complex criteria. Generally, the IRS has 3 years from the date you filed your return to initiate and complete an audit. Most audits kick off within a year after you file, and they typically wrap up in less than a year. Audits come by mail, at an IRS office, or in person, either at your home or business. Regardless of the type, the IRS will request information and documents to support your tax positions. It's crucial to provide this information promptly and accurately as requested. If you have a tax professional representing you, be sure to collaborate closely with them. Your tax pro will handle the communication with the IRS while relying on you for the necessary facts and documents. So, what do you do if your taxes are selected for audit? Before we continue, if you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe and press the notification button so you can be notified when we upload new videos. If your tax return is selected for an audit by the IRS, here are some steps you can take. Number 1. Understand the scope of the audit. The IRS audit will be limited to a few items on the audit letter you received from the IRS. The notification letter should list the reasons the IRS selected your tax return for an audit, provide instructions for what you need to do, and give you a deadline for responding. Before undergoing a tax audit, it's crucial to grasp its scope and understand the specifics outlined in the audit letter sent by the IRS. For mail audits, the focus is typically on select items listed in the letter. On the other hand, office and field audits demand more extensive preparation, requiring you to gather requested documents and be ready to address detailed inquiries about your finances and activities. Given the complexity of office and field audits, it's highly advisable to seek representation from a licensed tax professional, such as enrolled agent, CPA, or attorney. Their expertise in IRS procedures can ensure effective advocacy for your tax return positions during the audit process. Step 2. Prepare your responses. Prepare your responses to the IRS questions. The notice you receive will have specific information about why your return is being examined, what documents, if any, they need from you, and how you should proceed. Be prepared for IRS inquiries head-on. For a mail audit, ensure you constructed a detailed response addressing the specific items mentioned in the IRS letter or document. If you're preparing for an office or field audit, prepare for your meeting with the IRS officer or agent by gathering all the requested information. Anticipate questions about areas like unexplained bank deposits or additional income, as well as inquiries about your employment, family, and any side projects you're involved in. In cases where you lack the necessary documents to support items on your tax return, you may need to piece together information from alternative sources or records. If a third party can corroborate a claim you're unable to prove, consider having them sign an affidavit to support your case. Step number 3. Respond to IRS requests. Respond to IRS requests for information or documents on time, and advocate your tax return positions. If you need additional time to reply, you may request a one-time 30-day extension from the IRS. Make sure to respond promptly to any request from the IRS for information or documents and stand up for your positions in your tax return. If the IRS believes there's a need to make changes to your return, they'll start digging deeper and send you an information document request. It's crucial to provide a complete response by the deadline they give you. There might be times when you and the IRS don't see eye to eye. They might say you claimed a deduction you shouldn't have, or that you should have reported more income. If you disagree, make your case by explaining your understanding of the facts and tax laws to the IRS. In the end, the IRS will wrap up the audit, either without proposing any changes or by suggesting adjustments to your return. You'll receive a report detailing their findings along with a letter giving you 30 days to appeal if you don't agree, known as the 30-day letter. Step number 4. Seek professional help. If you're selected for an audit, speak with a tax professional about the best ways to prepare for an audit. Taxpayers have a right under the tax code to have legal representation during an IRS examination. However, the IRS only allows certain individuals to serve as representatives, namely tax attorneys, CPAs or certified public accountants, and enrolled agents, former IRS employees who have passed a specific exam. Keep in mind that most tax preparers, with the exception of CPAs, are not authorized to represent you during an audit. Thus, if a tax professional prepared your return, you may not be able to rely on them for support during the audit process. Alternatively, you have the option to represent yourself if you prefer. Step number 5. Appeal if necessary. If you disagree with the results, appeal to the appropriate venue. If you're not happy with the outcome, take your case to the right place. You've got 30 days to ask for an appeal with the IRS Office of Appeals. If you miss this window, the IRS will send you a letter called a statutory notice of deficiency. This letter marks the end of the audit and gives you the chance to take your case to the U.S. Tax Court. In mail audits, it's important to note that the letter suggesting changes also acts as a 30-day letter. Many taxpayers miss this detail and lose their chance to challenge the audit findings with the IRS. Remember, being selected for an audit does not necessarily mean something is wrong. The IRS performs audits by mail or in person. It's always a good idea to consult with a tax professional or use a tax software to ensure you're up to date with the latest tax laws. Thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe and press the notification button so you will be notified when we post new videos.